Hello and welcome to How to Revise for GCSE History. I'm going to be talking you through a few ways in which you can revise for your upcoming history GCSEs. So our first one shouldn't be anything new. You'll have been doing informed quizzing since September, and you know that afterwards you do your informed quiz, you produce a revision card, a flashcard. Now, since September, you will have built up quite a bank of these flashcards, which you can use now to start revising from. So in this case, we can see the one in front of you. There is the Reichstag fire. We've got some key dates. It's an opportunity. They've blamed it on the communists. The German parliament building is burnt down. And we've also got the consequence of it here. So Hindenburg was persuaded to pass an emergency law restricting personal liberty. So this is really clear on what the Reichstag fire was, when it was, how the Nazis used it, and the consequences of it. So the second way in which you can revise for your GCSEs is by using websites such as BBC Bitesize. Now you will need to click on the OCRB because that is the specification that we follow, and you will need to scroll down and you go all the way down to our first unit that's on here, which is Elizabeth I, and you can see there are 7 study guides there. So if I click on Elizabeth, we've got a general overview. You've got our first unit, which is Elizabeth and her government. You've got the Catholics and Elizabeth, daily life. So that's life for the rich and the poor, and the problem of poverty. You've got popular culture. So the golden age with the theatre and popular pastimes, and you've got Elizabeth I and the wider world. You've also got an extra bit where it gives you a few more hints about how to answer the question. So if we take a look at one of them, which is Elizabeth and her government, you can see that it goes through patronage, which is all the first bit, and the royal court. You've got the use of her Privy Council and her Secretaries of State, William Cecil and Francis Walsingham. You've got the rebellion of the Earl of Essex, so the causes, what happened during the rebellion. You've got how Elizabeth used her parliament, how she controlled them, how the idea of the MPs trying to take control back, and you've got the Puritan threat. Okay, now remember the Puritans are not as much as a threat as the Catholics because the Puritans don't want to get rid of Elizabeth. You've also then got Elizabeth and the control of her people through the Lord Lieutenants, the Justices of the Peace, and Elizabeth's use of propaganda through the progresses, through the church, controlling the printing presses and her portraits. And again, you've got the information underneath. What's good about this is you can then go and test your knowledge. So you'll get multiple choice questions and it'll give you instant feedback and it'll direct you what you need to do to be able to improve your answer. If you go back to the start and you go to OCRB again and you scroll down because you've done Elizabeth, you might want to rebrush up on Germany, and there are 5 guides there. You've got Hitler coming into power, you've got life in Nazi Germany, and you've got World War II and Germany. So if we look at Hitler getting into power, you've got the impact of the Depression, which was the very first topic that we did. We were looking at what Germany was like when Hitler took control. You've got Hitler being appointed as Chancellor. And then you've also got this creation of a dictatorship. So the Reichstag fire, the Enabling Act, the Night of the Long Knives, and then Hitler becoming Führer. And underneath there is a table with everything well explained. And again, same as Elizabeth, you can then go back and you can test your knowledge with the general knowledge quiz here at the end. If we link back to the start again, if you scroll down a little bit more, you have then got crime and punishment. You've got the overview. But these are your topics. You've got your medieval period, the Middle Ages, you've got the early modern Britain, industrial Britain, and crime and punishment since the 20th century. You've also got an extra bit which includes looking at change and continuity. And the same as what we've seen before, if I just click on this one, you'll be able to see it gives you the key features. You've got a video to watch, and it takes you through crimes in the 16th and 17th and the 18th century, law and order, punishments, which is your physical punishments, humiliation, prisons, and then capital punishments. And again, same as what we've seen before, there are the bits in which you can test your own knowledge. And you can then check your score and see what are the areas that you need to revise a bit more. So on the OCRB section here, you have got Elizabeth, which is here under the Tudors, Germany, and you've got crime and punishment. You can also use GCSE pods. So if you click on OCRB, because again, that is a specification that we focus on, you've got crime and punishment, 1250 to present day. You've got the Elizabethans, 1580 to 1603, and you've got living under Nazi rule, 1933 to 1945. So if I click on the crime and punishment one, you can see it is split into the 4 time periods. So Middle Ages, early modern, industrial, and Britain since the 20th century. So if we click on the Middle Ages, we've got the problems, we've got the crime, and we've got law enforcement and punishment. And again, you can click on these, you can listen to them on your way to school, on your walking home from school. You can listen to them and create flashcards from them. So there's lots of information that you can be looking at on GCSE Pod. So if we pick, let's go back to the titles. If we pick the Elizabethans, again, it's set out the same: government, Catholics, daily lives, popular culture, and the wider world. So there's lots of pods that you can be listening to on here and making sure that your revision is going well. Another way that you can revise is by going on to the OSME History Year 11 site. And if you know me, you know I am a total Luddite, so I was absolutely 100% amazed when I produced this for you. You can see the countdown in number of days until your exams, and if you scroll down, it gives you general information, and then this is the key bit that you'll be looking at. So we've got CP, which is our crime and punishment knowledge organizer. So in here, you'll be able to see the different time periods and the different focuses. So we've got crime, we've got punishment, and we've got law enforcement. The first part of each time period gives you a general overview of the context, as well as the revision guide. So you'll see crime and punishment, you'll see Elizabethan England, you'll see living under Nazi rule, and Vikings revision guides. You've also then got down the side the quick links. So if we click on one of the quick links, which is the crime and punishment one, it will direct you to a YouTube channel, and you can see we've got the recap of each of the different time periods. So if we scroll down, we can see the Middle Ages, the early modern period, over down to the industrial period, and modern as well. There's also some other ones in which it tells you how to answer the 9-mark questions, the 10-mark question, and the essay-based question. Now, these are for all of the units. So if you'll notice, there's a crime and punishment playlist, there's an Elizabethans playlist, there's a Kenilworth Castle playlist as well. So if I just click on that one, it should come up so we can see why it was first built, what the significant times were, how and why Kenilworth changes, the importance of Kenilworth locally and nationally, the benefits and challenges, the physical remains of the castle, and how typical is it. So everything that you will need is on here. And again, we have got the Living Under Nazi Rule playlist. Very slow. And you can see that this time it's under topic. So this is topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, topic 4, and topic 5. And again, there are some extra ones in which it tells you how to answer the questions. So you have a number of ways in which you can revise for your history GCSEs. There is also a revision timetable which you should have, which you can see if you wanted to revise crime, then it is on a Tuesday with Miss Cresswell. If you wanted to revise Elizabeth, it is on a Friday with Mr. Wilson. For Germany, it is on a Wednesday with Mr. Wild. And if you wanted to revise Kenilworth, it's going to be with me on a Thursday. Now you can see here we've got the topics that are in there as well. So you might be okay with the Middle Ages, but you think I need to brush up on the early modern, and you just go to the early modern ones. If you're all right with Elizabeth and Power, but you want to dip into the Catholics, then you can do that. The same for Germany. You can see about establishing a dictatorship, consolidating the dictatorship, methods of control. So you can pick which you want to look at. So hopefully there's a few ways there in which you can revise for your upcoming history GCSE. And remember, good luck.